Hey, family, welcome back to Ask Wifey, where we bring you kingdom principles to empower you as a kingdom citizen. I'm Jamin, and with me is the woman who helped me shout out the noise and stay locked in on purpose. My wife, Nicole. Say hi, wifey.
Hi, wifey. Hi, everyone. I hope you are ready for this one. We're calling today's episode The Fight for Focus.
Yes.
Because if the enemy can't destroy you, he'll just distract you.
Yep.
And honestly, he's using distractions to drain destiny.
If you've been struggling to concentrate, to stay on task, or to finish what God gives you to build, you're not lazy. You're under attack. Focus is a spiritual battle, not just a productivity issue. And man, I can relate.
I wouldn't speak. Oh man. I have come to realize that I am in a spiritual warfare when it comes to getting stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of this episode, you'll know how to recognize distractions as a weapon, reclaim your mental clarity, and rebuild your focus with God at the center.
Oh boy. So I want you to help us. I know we're going to start this over with why focus is a kingdom weapon. So tell us about that.
Okay, let's get Bible. We got to start with the foundation. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 25 says, "Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you." That's focus. It's not optional, it's directional obedience.
Nehemiah 6:3 is one of my favorite. When the enemy tries to distract him, Nehemiah says, "I am doing a great work and I cannot come down." That's the kind of locked in mindset we need to have today. A laser focus, not be distracted. Bullseye's the only destination.
Yes, and for you, dart lovers and players, we know where to aim our focus to hit the bullseye. Focus honors God. It says, "I trust you enough not to chase every shiny thing."
And in today's world, getting ready to move into a new year, there's going to be a lot of shiny things. A lot of shiny things.
We discipline to focus because there are so many distractions. It's like training your spirit, training your mind, training your mental ability. Let's talk about the 3 most common focus thieves. Ready for this? You all know where I'm going first, right? Digital noise.
Oh boy.
Social media scrolls, constant notifications, multitasking chaos, emotional clutter.
One of the things they should have on the screen, having multiple windows open, tabs, they call them tabs, multiple tabs open. You realize the average person, I don't know, I know, but me, I have at least 25 or 30 tabs open at any given time. And yes, I don't go into all of them, but I don't want to forget what I was looking at, so I keep them up.
Yeah, same here.
But just because they are up, they are a distraction. So, yeah, that's something we all got to pray for.
Listen. The days of individuals like Catherine Kuhlman and the mighty men and women of God, they were easier days, especially in locking in to the presence of God. We've got so much. Our next distraction is the emotional clutter. Unforgiveness, fear, Overthinking. Thoughts bombarding your mind.
I like to call it the need to get even. You know, some people spend all day just thinking about how they're gonna get even, how they're gonna show it.
Yeah.
They can just show it.
It's a battle. You know, Joyce Myers talks about her book Battlefield of the Mind. It is so that is a tool. I encourage you to get and to use. The other target on weapon is busyness disguised as purpose. You're doing everything except the main thing. Procrastinating, running away from that one thing. David said, this one thing will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after. That's again a scripture that talks about focus. Busyness disguised as purpose. You're doing everything except the main thing. Have mercy on us. Boy, listen here. Be right there. And here's the lie. I'll focus when life slows down. No family life doesn't slow down. You have to slow it down. You have to choose what matters. And we used to teach our son, what was the slogan we told him? Focus and finish. Focus and finish. I even had a song. I'm coming out with that song. Focus and finish. Not, oh, I can do multiple things because I know how to No. Focus one thing at a time and finish. And then, if you're an individual who believes that you are extremely busy, there's an author out there by the name of Brian Tracy, who wrote a book many years ago called Eat That Frog. And the philosophy in that book was very simple. If you eat or do the biggest task first, the one that you really dread, the rest of your day will go smooth. So what he says is eat the frog, and after you've done that, everything else, even if you don't get it done, you are ahead of the game. Yeah, and one of the books that I'm reading, he was talking about the chapter I'm on right now. He was talking about purpose and focusing in on that one thing. You know, we want to do a whole lot of other things. He said, find out what there are a lot of things that we can do. Yep. Find the one thing and focus in on that and make that where your effort goes. The devil isn't afraid of your dream, you know. He's afraid of your discipline. Because when you're focused, you're dangerous. You hear me? When you are focused, he doesn't mind that you got a dream. Can you steady and discipline yourself? And in the book I'm reading, he talked about the same thing. Disciplining yourself to the point that this is what I am doing. This is the task that I am on. This is the road that I am on. That this is the goal that I have set, and I am going to finish it. I am not going to deviate to the left or the right until I get this completed. Here are 3 habits that helps you fight for focus. And here's habit number 1. First things first. In Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom. Don't let your phone or to-do list set your tone. Let God do that. Start your day vertical before you go horizontal. Ooh. Start your day vertical before you go horizontal. That's a good book title. Yes. Y'all can take that one. I'm using that one, okay? That one ain't for free. Habit 2. Or you had something else you wanted to add? Sorry. That's a deep I was just pausing for emphasis.
Okay.
I was just letting that
Okay.
soak in.
Okay.
Because that is so important. You know, we get up out sometimes our notification bells wake us up. And or we reach for our phone and we reach for something else, or we just get stuff going before we even allowed ourselves to come in alignment with what God is wanting to do for what's the assignment for the day. And I try to make that my practice, that when I open my eyes, before I move and budge, I am turning my focus on making my position with the Lord known. I'm setting that course and getting his ear on what it is that I need to do. Okay. The next habit, create a focus block. Schedule 1 to 2 hours where your phone is off and your attention is on one task, writing, praying, building. Let that time be non-negotiable. Nobody interrupts it. Nobody interferes with it. Nobody, like my sister said, nobody. And that's for you, James.
Habit 3. Learn to say no without guilt. You know, Luke 5:16 says, Jesus withdrew. He didn't say yes to every crowd. Focus means guarding your yes. So your assignment doesn't get diluted. Let's say that again. Focus means guarding your yes, so your assignment doesn't get diluted.
You know, I remember the story. I remember the incident in the Bible where it was the time of the feast, and Jesus's brothers came to him, and they said, "Come on, let's go up to the feast since you want to. You know, you're supposed to be the big man. You need to go up there and do some teaching and healing and stuff." And honestly, the spirit at which they were doing that wasn't right.
Right.
That invitation wasn't right because they didn't even believe in him. And the Bible says that they didn't believe in him. And you know what Jesus said? No, I ain't going yet. I ain't going. Like, what you mean you don't going? You're supposed to go up there. That's where all the people can be so you can show yourself off and stuff like that. He said, no, that's okay. I ain't going. And so they left. And then after they left, he went. But again, he didn't allow himself to be jimmied by no one else.
Right.
He stayed the course. He knew what he was going to do, and he didn't allow them to dilute his destiny.
Right.
So, bonus tip: Psalms chapter 86:11. Give me an undivided heart. That's not just emotional; it's mental warfare. Focused and fixed, an undivided heart.
I had a season, where I kept starting projects and never finishing. Once I asked God to help me focus and build systems around it, things started to close. Things started closing, not just starting. Okay? When it comes down to focusing, it's an art. It's a gift. It's one of those things that anybody could perfect, but you need to see the value of it. If you don't see the value of focus, if your value is not of focus, it's of chaos. Yeah. You can't have two. You can't say, I value focus and I also value chaos. And if you're not focusing, you are chaotic. Everything else. There's only one or two directions you can go in. So one of the reasons I'm so fickle with completing one task at a time is because why? One, it builds a habit. Two, it gives you a level of achievement. Three, you get where you need to get to.
Yeah.
But if you are everywhere doing everything and then you're saying, I am so busy, you know what happens? You know what that does for you at the end of the day? When you have to look yourself in the mirror, you have to look yourself in the mirror and you have to say, what did I do today? And then you start talking to yourself, I ain't doing nothing. I was really busy. I was tired, but I was really busy. I didn't do anything. And that talk that you talk to yourself doesn't build you up. It brings you down.
Yeah.
But if you focus, if you say, well, if you could have 10 things to do today, and all you did was you completed 2 correctly. You know what that does for your self-talk?
Yeah.
You say, man, I did those 2, I did them well, and I got tomorrow to complete the other 8. But when you're in a chaotic world of chaos, when you have 10 things to do, you finish none, you're tired, you talk down to yourself, and the only thing you do is bring yourself down. So focusing is one of those things that actually designed to build you up.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Say, I'm listening to you and things are just going through my head.
Mm-hmm.
I used to let interruptions run my day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the middle of something and somebody call, and it's really hard as a wife and a mother to stay focused and commit and follow through on things. And it one of the things that I'm having to learn is that I even have to set boundaries with my family, with my son, and even with my husband, in order for me to complete stuff, because they think that their stuff is priority, and everything, you as the wife and the mother, you don't have what you're doing is not important. And what that does is when I constantly am stopping to help them complete their assignments, and that's been a trend for a long time in my life, at the end of the day, I'm frustrated and I'm not happy and I'm not fulfilled and I'm feeling guilty and just lousy, because why? Nothing that I should have get done is done. And then I have a husband. He will pull me away from my stuff. And I'm talking about you right to your face. He will pull me away from my stuff, right? And constantly, I want you to do this, I need you to do this, and I need you to do that. And then he will tell me that I'm unorganized and I'm not completing what I need to do because I didn't tell him no. Because I didn't tell him no, then he fusses me and he tells me that I'm unorganized and chaotic. But I've had to learn, and I'm learning that I have to tell him no. Okay, yeah, that's important to you, but I am doing this and this is important. And when I'm done, then I will help you. And I think in families, we have to learn to respect and give each other the space and the room.
Not just that,
to stay focused.
But also everyone is responsible for their focus.
Yeah.
No one is responsible for you focusing. Because just in that example right there, no one is, we don't, an individual, father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, isn't concerned that you need to focus.
They're not concerned about your business. They're concerned about their business.
You have to focus on the things that you have to get done. And that right there, people say it's difficult, but it isn't. Because why? I tell people to start with a list. It starts with a list. What are the things that you have to do today? And you start those things. But better yet, if you take Brian Tracy's hint, write the list, and if it has 10, find the biggest frog and eat that frog first. And here's what I would tell you. If all you do is eat that big frog first, everything else doesn't make a difference if you do it or you don't do it.
And that's actually the book I have our son reading. That's his required reading book right now. I'm just getting him to finish it and focus on finishing his thing. One of the things that I do is I build my day around God's priorities, and I protect my brain space. Like my oil depends on it. Because it does.
Family, clarity is expensive. That's why the enemy wants to steal it. But God is calling you back to single-mindedness. Because why? When you are clear, when you know your direction, one of our themes for this year is purpose. You're going to hear us say it in probably every talk that we do. Purpose is what's going to anchor you. Purpose is what's going to fill you. Purpose is what's going to feel purpose. But in order to be on purpose, you have to be focused.
You know, you were talking about being single-minded and the enemies wanting to steal our focus.
Mm-hmm.
You know why he wants us distracted and busy, and it's because when we are off on all sorts of tantrums and busy, we're not productive. We're not being fruitful. We're not fulfilling God's original mandate. We're not fruitful. We're not multiplying. We're not replenishing. We're not subduing. We're not producing. We're not creating. We're not walking in our divine nature. And the divine nature that God has called us to is to work. And part of us working, when we are distracted and busy with stuff, especially our phones and the digital stuff, we are missing out on the opportunities to download from the divine, to download and hear from God, and get instructions on what he wants done.
Wow. Clarity is definitely expensive.
Listen here. That is like gold.
Knowing what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, when you're supposed to do it. And when you have that level of focus, there's very little that can distract you. Yes. So let's bring this home, babes.
Here's your focus challenge for this week. Identify 3 top daily distractions. Eliminate one of them for 7 days. Focus on eliminating a distraction. Replace that time with one intentional task that serves your calling.
And then go over and tag us on Ask Wifey podcast with focus faith. Hashtag focus faith. We want to celebrate your wins and your disciplines, because finishing what God starts in you is the goal.
Yes. In this episode, if this episode gave you clarity, share it with someone who's been feeling scattered. Help them reclaim their mental territory.
We love you. We're praying for you. Sharpen your focus, accelerate your progress, and the kingdom clarity this week. And remember, the kingdom of God is here.